You feel it, don't you? That strange pull in your spirit, that divine unease that tells you you're not ordinary, that this place, this pain, this delay, it is not the end. You've been walking through a season of silence, of struggle, of waiting rooms disguised as battlefields, but something inside you won't let go of the promise. You don't even know why you're still believing, but you are. That's not by accident. That's because you are marked. You are chosen. And God has already circled the dates on heaven's calendar. Major days, just for you. Your breakthrough isn't random, it's scheduled. God is not scrambling to fix your story. He's been preparing a moment, your moment, since before you were born. And no delay, no betrayal, no storm has cancelled it. Heaven doesn't reschedule promises just because earth is in chaos. The enemy may have tried to distract you, confuse you, silence you, but God still knows the exact date, the precise second, the divinely ordained hour, when everything will shift in your favor. So if you're tired, if you're hanging on by a whisper, this word is for you. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. You are not ordinary. That quiet tug in your spirit, that fire you can't explain, that inner drive that won't let you quit, it's not just passion, it's a mark, a divine signal from heaven that you have been set apart. While others may be striving to fit in, something about you has never been able to blend in. That's because you weren't made to conform. You were made to shift atmospheres. You carry something that can't be explained by natural qualifications. God didn't just choose you out of a crowd. He marked you for impact. Being marked means you've been labeled by heaven for a mission on earth. There is something on your life that goes beyond talent, appearance, or connections. It's a spiritual branding that the enemy can see, and that's why the warfare has been so intense. The attacks on your mind, the resistance in your progress, the loneliness you've endured, it's all evidence of your mark. The enemy doesn't waste bullets on empty threats. He targets what threatens him, and your destiny, your calling, your anointing, they threaten darkness. You may not look different on the outside, but in the spirit you are surrounded, covered, guarded. There's a reason some relationships didn't work. There's a reason certain doors were closed. God didn't let just anyone walk with you because not everyone can handle the weight of someone who's marked. He's been protecting the oil on your life. You were born for something more than survival. You were born for kingdom disruption. And when heaven marks you, it comes with both favor and fire. You may have questioned yourself. You may have doubted your worth. But the mark of God is not based on your emotions. It's based on His intention. He knew what He was doing when He created you. Every scar, every mistake, every weakness, He factored it all in when He called you chosen. This isn't a coincidence. You were divinely engineered to walk in power, to endure seasons others would have collapsed in, and to rise from ashes with a fire that makes hell nervous. You've been walking through seasons that didn't make sense. You've been carrying burdens that felt too heavy. But what you didn't realize is this. The pressure was proof of the mark. People who are simply called go through processes. But people who are marked, they go through crushing. Because what's coming from your life isn't meant to impress. It's meant to deliver. It's meant to break chains. It's meant to lift generations. It's meant to shake atmospheres. And only the marked can carry that kind of mantle. That's why the crowd doesn't define you, the applause doesn't validate you. You don't need a platform to be powerful. You need presence. And you have it. God's hand is on you. You've been seen, covered, kept, and called. You may not have seen the full picture yet, but God already sees the finished version of you. And He's smiling. He's proud of how you've endured, how you kept showing up, how you stayed faithful when no one clapped, when no one noticed, when nothing made sense. That's the heart of someone who's marked. So don't be discouraged by the delay. Don't be distracted by the noise. You are not just another name. You are a weapon in God's hands, and your time is coming. You are marked. You are chosen. And no storm, no voice, no failure, no past can erase what heaven has written over your life. What God has marked, no man can unmark. Keep walking. Your destiny is tracking you down. There comes a point in every chosen one's life where God goes quiet. The prayers you used to feel deep in your bones suddenly feel like they're bouncing off the ceiling. You used to hear Him in every moment, see confirmation everywhere, sense His leading in the little things. But now it feels like you're walking through fog. No clarity, no voice, just silence. And if you're not careful, You'll mistake that silence for absence. You'll assume that God has left you, that maybe he changed his mind about you, that maybe the promise expired. But that's the trap, and the enemy knows it. Because the silence of God is not the absence of God. It's often the signal that something deep is happening beneath the surface. God speaks in fire and thunder, yes, but sometimes he works best in the hidden. The same God who thundered on Mount Sinai also whistled to Elijah in a cave. He is not confined to volume or visibility. Sometimes he will withhold his voice, so you'll learn to trust his heart. But sometimes he'll pull back what you can feel, so you'll press into what you know. And what you know is this: he is faithful, he is constant, he finishes what he starts. The God who began the work in you isn't trying to figure out how to complete it. He already has the end written. But what he's doing in this season is testing your roots. Can you still stand when there's no sound? Can you still believe when there's no confirmation? Can you still walk when the light seems to have gone out? That's the refining work of God. When he's silent, he's not ignoring you. He's maturing you. You don't grow deep in the sunlight. You grow deep in the dark. You don't develop faith when everything's going your way. You develop faith when nothing makes sense, yet you still choose to trust. That's the faith that pleases God. That's the kind of faith that causes heaven to mark major days for your life. You see, God's silence is strategic. When you don't hear him, he's preparing something bigger than you imagine. He's aligning people, opportunities, open doors, divine setups, all in your favor. But he won't show it to you yet, because if he did, you might try to reach for it too early, and a premature blessing can turn into a permanent burden. So instead, he quiets the room, he lets you walk alone for a while, he allows the noise to die down, not to punish you, but to sharpen you. He's teaching you to move by faith, not by feelings. He's training your spirit to lead when your senses want to collapse, because the next thing he's preparing for you will require a deeper level of trust. And trust can't be downloaded, it has to be developed. The silence, then, is not a curse, it's a classroom. And if you can make peace with it, if you can endure this quiet season with confidence, you'll graduate into a level of spiritual authority you've never known before. You won't need a prophetic word to move. You won't need confirmation from every corner. You'll walk in the kind of trust that stirs heaven, and when heaven is stirred, earth has to respond. So, don't misread this moment. Don't assume God is far just because you can't feel him. Some of the most powerful moves of God begin in the most silent seasons. Your roots are growing, your spirit is strengthening, your vision is stretching. And when God speaks again, when he finally breaks the silence, it won't be just to comfort you, it will be to launch you. You had a plan, you had everything mapped out, the steps, the timing, the people, even the prayers you thought would work like keys. And when things didn't go as expected, you thought maybe you missed it, maybe you made the wrong choice, maybe God changed his mind about you. But the truth is this: God's divine timing is not bound by your personal planning. His ways are higher, his thoughts are deeper. His schedule is more strategic than anything your human mind could ever comprehend. When things fall apart, it's easy to panic. We rush to fix it, to adjust it, to get back on track. But what if what you thought was a detour was actually the divine direction? What if your plan needed to break so that God's timing could unfold? You were never meant to run your life by a clock you created. You were meant to walk by faith according to the timing of heaven. And heaven doesn't rush. Heaven doesn't follow deadlines. Heaven moves on purpose, not pressure. Your frustration comes from the fact that you thought you'd be further by now. You thought you'd see results by now. But delay in your eyes is not delay in God's. To him, timing is a weapon. He doesn't just give you a blessing when you want it. He releases it when it has the greatest impact. Divine timing is about more than just your convenience. It's about your purpose, your development, and the lives connected to your obedience. There are people waiting on the other side of your breakthrough. There are generations tied to your yes. So if God needs to slow things down to make sure your foundation is solid, he will. If he needs to reroute you to make sure pride doesn't sabotage your calling, he will. If he needs to hold back a door until your character matches your anointing, he will. That's not punishment, it's protection. Your job is not to manipulate the timing. Your job is to trust the one who holds time in his hands. You're looking at months and years. God is looking at moments that shift everything. And when those marked moments arrive, everything will make sense. You'll look back at the things that didn't work out and thank Him. You'll see why that door had to stay shut, why that relationship had to end, why that opportunity had to pass. The pain of delay will be swallowed by the power of destiny. So stop measuring your purpose with a planner. Stop thinking you're behind just because others seem ahead. You don't know what they're carrying, and they don't know what you're being prepared for. You're not in competition, you're in coordination with God's master timeline. And the more you rest in that, the more peace you'll find. Sometimes God will even allow you to experience frustration just to expose your reliance on your own timing. He'll let the plan fail just to reset your focus. Because divine timing doesn't just bring the right blessing, it brings it at the right time, in the right way, with the right covering. And when that moment comes, you won't have to force it. You won't have to beg for it. It will flow, it will unfold, it will fit. God is never late. He's never scrambling. He's never caught off guard. And because you are marked, your moments have already been set. They've been written in eternity, waiting to manifest in time. So breathe. Stop fighting the clock. The creator of time is also the author of your story, and his timing is perfect. You've walked through fire, you've endured betrayal, disappointment, loss, and seasons that made no sense at all. You've cried prayers that never seemed to be answered, and carried burdens that felt heavier than your own strength could bear. And through it all, a silent question kept whispering in your heart. Why? Why the pain? Why the setback? Why the struggle when you're trying to follow God with your whole heart? It's tempting to look at all you've gone through and assume it disqualifies you, that the struggle is evidence that you're somehow out of alignment. But the truth is, the struggle is not a sign of rejection. It's a sign of preparation. It's proof that you are being shaped for something greater than you can currently see. Struggles are never wasted in the hands of God. In fact, they become the very foundation on which your breakthrough is built. You see, the enemy has been trying to convince you that your life is falling apart, when in reality, it's falling into place. God has been allowing things to be shaken, not to destroy you, but to remove what cannot stay. He's been stripping away distractions, idols, false attachments, and shallow dependencies. The pain you've walked through has not been random, it has been targeted. Heaven has used every trial to position you, not punish you. God doesn't waste pain. What looked like heartbreak was actually protection. What seemed like failure was actually redirection. The closed door you cried over was a divine not yet, designed to save you from stepping into something prematurely. He wasn't saying no to your purpose. He was saying not like that, not there, not with them. And while it may have felt like delay, what was really happening was development. Your spirit was being fortified, your discernment was being sharpened, your faith was being rooted not in results, but in relationship. Because God knows the weight of the calling on your life, He knows the level of authority you're called to walk in, and He knows that kind of influence requires a foundation that can't be shaken by storms, critics, or fear. So He allowed the struggle to strengthen you, not to break you, but to build you. You've cried, yes. You've questioned, yes. But you're still here. And that's the evidence of grace. If the struggle was meant to destroy you, it would have. But instead it revealed you. It uncovered the resilience inside you that you didn't even know existed. It exposed your capacity to endure, to worship in the dark, to believe without seeing. That kind of strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the crushing. God is not just preparing a blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. Because there are days ahead that have been marked just for you. Divine appointments, supernatural turnarounds, prophetic moments of release. And when they come, they won't make sense until you remember the struggle. Then it will all click. The pain had a purpose. The delay had a reason. The loss made room. The silence was strategy. What tried to bury you only planted you deeper. You're not broken. You're being built. You're not cursed. You're being called up. You're not late. You're right on schedule for what God is about to release. So lift your head. Your story isn't over. It's about to shift. The struggle was the setup, and your next chapter will make the enemy regret ever coming after you. Because you didn't just survive, you were strengthened. When God moves, he often does it suddenly. One moment everything looks the same struggle, the same waiting, the same closed doors, and then, without warning, everything shifts. The opportunity shows up, the call comes in, the breakthrough hits, and you're standing in a moment that you've been praying for, one that didn't come with a warning, but with power. That's how God operates. He doesn't always give signs and build-ups. Sometimes he moves in a flash, and if you're not ready, you can miss the very thing you've been crying out for. That's why spiritual readiness is not optional for the chosen ones. It's mandatory. You can't afford to live on autopilot when you've been marked for divine interruption. God is not obligated to move on your schedule, but he will always move on his. And when he does, it often comes in the form of a suddenly. That's the nature of heaven's release. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't check if you're emotionally prepared. It doesn't wait for you to feel worthy. It simply arrives. And you either step into it or you watch it pass by. So the real question is, are you ready? Readiness isn't about perfection. It's about preparation. It's about staying consistent in the quiet seasons, remaining faithful when there's no applause, and cultivating a heart that still believes even when the answer is delayed. If you only pray when you feel something, or only obey when you see results, you won't last long in the realm of the suddenlies. The ones who are ready are those who live like the door could open any minute, because in truth it could. Heaven is not slow, heaven is strategic. God is always watching for the moment when your preparation meets his timing, and when those two collide, the result is divine acceleration. What should have taken years happens in days. What was impossible suddenly becomes effortless. The promotion, the connection, the release, all of it can unfold in one divine moment. And if you're ready, you won't be shocked. You'll recognize it. You'll step into it like it was already yours, because it is. But many people miss it because they expect warning signs. They wait until it feels like it's time to get serious, to start fasting, to pray again, to get aligned. But by then the moment may have already moved. You don't prepare when the door opens. You prepare before it opens. You don't train when the race starts. You train in secret while no one is watching. That's where real readiness is formed, in the unseen, in the quiet, in the places no one claps for. Don't let comfort trick you into thinking delay means inactivity. Just because the season feels still doesn't mean heaven isn't watching. The angels assigned to your life haven't gone to sleep. The promise hasn't expired. The vision hasn't changed. God is still moving, and when he decides to release what he stored for you, it's going to come fast, suddenly, without a sound. And if you're ready, you'll catch it. You'll walk through the open door, not with fear, but with faith. So, stay ready, stay sharp. Keep your oil full, your prayer life active, your heart clean. Don't waste time waiting to feel like it. Be ready, whether you feel it or not, because in one moment, just one, everything can shift. Your name can be called, your email can be answered, your platform can be handed to you, and the question will not be, is it really happening? The question will be, were you ready when it did? It will happen, not because you forced it, not because you earned it, not because you manipulated the outcome, but because God already scheduled it. That dream, that breakthrough, that turning point you keep praying for, it's not a fantasy, it's not wishful thinking. It's a divine appointment that's already been marked in heaven's timeline, and when God says it will happen, no force in hell or on earth can stop it. You may not know when, you may not know how, but it's not your job to know the details. It's your job to trust the one who holds the whole plan. He's not improvising your destiny. He's not scrambling to figure out your next step. God works from the end to the beginning. That means he's already seen your future, and he's aligning everything to meet you there. You're not waiting for God to make up his mind. He's already decided. He's already declared it, and what he declares, he delivers. The waiting season can lie to you. It can convince you that maybe it won't happen, that maybe you missed it, that maybe it was for someone else. But God doesn't tease his children. He doesn't plant purpose in your heart just to watch it die. If he spoke it, it's because it already exists in the spirit. Your job is to stay in position until the physical world catches up with what's already been decreed in heaven. There are moments in your life that have been marked by God himself. Days when doors will open, seasons when suddenly becomes now, hours when heaven collides with earth, and those moments aren't based on your performance, they're rooted in God's sovereignty. That should give you peace. That should take the pressure off. You don't have to strive or stress or chase. What is meant for you will find you, because God scheduled it. What do you do while you wait? You prepare. You believe. You stay faithful. Not because you're trying to earn the promise, but because you're partnering with it. When you believe that God has scheduled your breakthrough, you live differently, you speak differently, you think differently, you begin to walk with expectation instead of anxiety. Because you know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So many people give up too soon. They walk away when they're one step away from what they've been praying for. They talk themselves out of faith because they can't see the evidence yet. But faith doesn't wait for evidence. Faith creates the atmosphere for the evidence to show up. Faith says, even if I don't see it today, I will keep building, keep believing, keep preparing, because I know my moment is on the way. And here's what's so powerful. When your scheduled moment comes, it won't just bless you. It will answer questions. It will redeem the time. It will explain the pain. It will connect all the scattered pieces of your past and show you that nothing was wasted. Not one tear. Not one disappointment. Not one lonely night. It was all leading to the day that God had circled on his calendar for you. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not behind. You are right on track for what heaven has in store. Don't let delay deceive you. Don't let silence shake you. Don't let comparison distract you. What's for you is not being withheld, it's being perfectly prepared. And when the moment arrives, it will happen fast, without warning, without delay, because God doesn't miss appointments. And you, chosen one, are right on schedule for glory.